Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today, inshallah, I shall give you an overview of chapter 6. We shall begin the chapter by reviewing the concept of ratios or proportions, such as 1/2 being an equivalent ratio proportional fraction to 5/10, because they both express the same thing, half of something. You will see that this chapter is all about ratios and proportions. After we review ratios and proportions, we shall talk about a very important concept called the geometric mean. The concept of geometric mean is related to the concept of average, which is an arithmetic mean. The arithmetic mean, as you're familiar with, is the average of something. For example, if you had two numbers a and b, you would find their average by adding them together and dividing them by 2. The geometric mean, however, is slightly different but expresses a similar concept. The geometric mean of two numbers is defined as the square root of their product, like this. So the second thing that we shall explore in this chapter is this concept of geometric means. After this, we shall talk about the main subject of the chapter, that is similar polygons. Similar polygons obviously are not congruent polygons. In other words, you can't take one and put it right on top of the other and expect them to fit. But they are similar in that their sides are proportional. It will become readily apparent to you then why we started the chapter by talking about ratios and proportions. After we have learned the basic concepts of similar polygons, we shall apply that to triangles that are similar. Triangles being, of course, an example of a polygon. After we talked about similar triangles, we shall talk about the proportionality theorem. The proportionality theorem concerns parallel lines and how they divide other lines in proportions, and hence again tying to the basic concept of ratios and proportions. And finally, we shall finish the chapter by talking about similarity transformations, in other words, taking geometric figures in the Cartesian plane and enlarging them and moving them around. This is the agenda for chapter 6. Again, we shall begin with talking about ratios and proportions. Then we shall talk about geometric mean and what that means. Thereafter, we shall apply these concepts to similar polygons, and among these, of course, the special polygon being the triangle. After that, we shall talk about proportionality theorem, and I think that's a lot of fun. And finally, we shall finish off by talking about similarity transformations, or transformations in the Cartesian plane of similar figures. I hope you are as excited as I am. Until next time, as-salatu was-salamu ala rasulillah, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaikum.